The writer of Fantastic Four reveals some of the scrapped ideas from the 2015 FANT4STICK version of the film. And one of these ideas was to use Galactus, which is something we've known since 2015 because Josh Trank talked about it, but now we got some more details in regards to how exactly. So the original idea, at least as far as Josh Trank revealed, was to feature a tease of Galactus in the other world where the Fantastic Four traveled and got their powers, and only get a brief glimpse of him when they're in that world to sort of set up the future. But now we got an update on this from writer Jeremy Slater, who talks about the plans for the 2015 version. And there's a couple details here that he revealed to Comic Book that I think are very, very interesting. First and foremost, he says that obviously coming off of Cloud Galactus from 2007's Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer was one of those things where the fanboys were, vocal because they knew. They knew you could do Galactus. They wanted Galactus. We got Cloud Galactus. That wasn't it. And that wasn't what Jack Kirby or anybody else envisioned for that character. So the idea was to try to do something a little bit more faithful. And he reveals that how the story went in regards to 2015's Fantastic Four was, at first, they were looking at him as the big bad. But the studio heads, obviously Fox didn't want to spend that much money on budget, as that was a cheaper film, so then they said no. So then he was going to be appearing in one scene. This is more than likely what Josh Trank was talking about, but again, that didn't happen. And then ultimately they were like, well, okay, we're going to set him up as the post-credit scene. But then that didn't even happen. Now, of course, who knows what they ultimately would have done. There's been some details provided, but nothing concrete on what their Galactus was going to be. And he does say that ultimately we're getting the version of Galactus that most people want, which is a giant robot man. There you go. That's what we want. That's what we're going to be getting. That's awesome. And he says he hopes that people are happy with the end result because they put a lot of effort into giving people what they wanted with the previous versions that we never got. And I think that, honestly, the 2015 version, as much as I hate it, and as much as many of you found me because of my scathing review of that film, there was kernels of good ideas in there, but they never got to execute them, which is unfortunate. And as a person who broke multiple stories regarding that film and leaked the first images of Doctor Doom and various things, I can tell you that they were going for some interesting stuff that we'll never get to see because they cut it all out and the end result was terrible. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.